Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? We're back for the late show. That was a very quick break. Felt like just a minute or two, but it was an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. I don't know how long, an hour and 10 minutes, no idea. There is a breaking story out of Melbourne actually right now that I want to take you to. Very bad story, doesn't look great. Let me get my camera on. Hey guys, how are you? We're back. We're back. Hey, good to see you all. It's this story. It says two bodies are found in Antigone Court in Warrandyte in Melbourne. It says the bodies of a man and woman have been found in a quiet, wealthy street regarded as Millionaires Row in Melbourne's northeast. Police made the grim discovery of bodies on Antigone Court, Warrandyte, about 9:30 a.m. Tuesday. A crime scene has been declared as police and forensic officers launch an investigation. Circumstances surrounding the deaths are yet to be determined, but something strange. I was reading on a different article that it says that they were found in the road, not in a house. They were found in a road or like on the road. That that is odd. Man, been found in yeah, hold on, let me see if I can find you that article. I've been researching this since we went off the air. Yeah, police investigate whether a man shot dead outside Melbourne home linked to mafia. Wait, is that the right same one? No, this is the other story. We've got two stories at the moment with people being shot in Melbourne. You guys say that there's no gun crime in Australia. Well, there is. There is. Yeah. It says police investigating after two bodies found in Warrandyte in Melbourne's east. Police will await results of a post-mortem to determine the causes of death and whether there are any suspicious circumstances. I think anytime people are found in the road, there's probably suspicious circumstances. I mean, bodies don't just get there on their own. They they don't just wind up there. They don't walk themselves to the road and lie down. So there's something a bit weird there. Hey, how are you all? Laura T, DJ, I Hate Mornings, Mombi's here, Lynn D, Shasta's here. Hey, Shasta, Share Bear, and Love Lighthouses, Beth B, Reby, Danye Mitchell, and Lux is here. Good to see you all. Um, Welcome back from the Oscars. Yeah, Danny just got back from the Oscars. He had to do the after parties, be famous and things like that. All right. I'm just Yeah, alright, let's have a look into this. This is really bizarre. Melbourne's northeast, Antigone Court. There was a photo of it. It's supposed to be like a real bushland. I had a look at it on the maps before. It's a dead end, being that it is a court. And there's how many houses in this street? There's a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 13 houses in the street. So you got plenty of neighbors in this particular street. Um, Bodies of a man and woman have been found. This is a little strange. Let me see if I can find something else. Yeah. So what's interesting is they got the SES tent set up over here. I'm not sure if they're using that as the forensic tent or not. Let's see. There's a street view photo. They seem to be set up over here on this parkland. See all this green area here? Maybe that's where the bodies were found. It seems to be a pretty open area. Oh, that's just nothing. Um, what else does it say? The most recent sale in the street was in 2016, and that property sold for $1.8 million. So this area is a fairly well-off area You're talking about almost $2 million for a home in this particular street. Although, as we know, doesn't matter what your postcode is or, you know, how much you paid for your home, you could still have a crime there, a murder. It really doesn't matter. I'm trying to find some more information. Yeah, see, it says here on this one, I'll show you. Horror as bodies found on city street. So they weren't found in a home. They were definitely just found out in the open. At like 9:30 in the morning, did no one else go to work? They didn't go, "Oh, it looks like there's 2 bodies over there." They just sort of drove past and went, "Oh, it looks like 2 people having a nap." That's a bit odd to me that it would have to be so late in the morning, 9:30. No one's walking their dogs or anything like that? Yeah, well, we're gonna have to wait for the post-mortem to be conducted and find out what happened to them. Oh, don't know why that happened, gambler. Maybe your net's a bit slow. Hey, Shell and Lula, good to have you. Hey, Catatonic, good to have you as well. Let's see. All right. Well, look, that's that one. That's breaking news down here. And I have a second one. You guys got a bit of a look at it before. If I can get back to it. Where is it? Here. Police investigate whether man shot dead outside Melbourne home has links to the mafia. Victorian police say the man was found in Greenvale just after 4:30 a.m. but could not be revived. There you go. There's some forensic police doing their work, looking for things to take photos of, I guess. That's not a great photo. It says a man has been shot dead in an ambush as he walked on his driveway to go to work. The man was found outside a Buchanan Place home in Greenvale, about 20 kilometers north of Melbourne CBD, just after 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. He's alleged to have links to Melbourne's mafia. Sergeant Danny Travaglini said the man was walking out of his garage to his driveway when he was approached and shot in the upper body. Paramedics tried to revive him, but he was declared dead at the scene. At least 2 family members were home at the time of the incident, with one relative discovering the victim. Detectives have spoken to the family but said they were quite distraught and were not in a position to provide much detail. 2 women were escorted through police tape at the crime scene by detectives about 9:30 a.m., with one person consoling a visibly upset woman. Police were yet to formally identify the man, but Travaglini said gang links associated to the shooting would form part of the investigation. He said initial inquiries suggest the man was known to Victorian police. Crime scene was expanded after initial inquiries suggested a car may have approached from a particular area. He also said there was nothing yet to suggest any retaliatory attacks, but warned if there were any links to organized crime, there was always potential for payback. That's where Victoria Police approach such investigations as a high priority for those reasons to ensure we might mitigate any further risk. He says we obviously have protective or proactive units within Victorian Police to try and disrupt and impact organized crime to ensure that retaliation and other activities don't occur. Detectives were also investigating whether there was any link between the shooting and a shop front in Sunshine West going up in flames on Tuesday morning. They said we'll make inquiries in relation to what happened in Sunshine and see if there's any connections to what's happened here this morning. No arrests have been made as police look into the background of everyone involved or known to police who live in the area or associated with the man. They say we will do whatever we can to ensure there is no retaliation if there's anything suggested as retaliation. Please ask anyone with information or CCTV footage in the area to come forward. Very strange. Hold on. That's very strange. So we've had a shooting linked to the mafia this morning in Melbourne, and we've had a man and a woman found dead in a street in Melbourne this morning too. It's been a wild morning for crime, apparently. Oh, they're selling Girl Scout cookies at your grocery store? That sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. Um, hold on. I didn't hear much. Remember there was a 12-year-old girl who committed murder in Melbourne? I think last I heard she had been released. Yeah, I don't have an update for her. They said here it's an older article, but fake nails found next to dead woman among evidence for murder charge against girl 12. Melbourne court hears. It says pink butterfly fingernails found next to the blood-soaked body of a woman allegedly stabbed to death is among the key evidence prosecutors hope to use to convict the 12-year-old of murder. The girl, who cannot be named for legal reasons, is accused of fatally stabbing a 37-year-old woman at an apartment in Melbourne's Inner West on 16th of November. The child has been charged with murder, and the onus is on the prosecutors to prove she is capable of being held criminally responsible due to her young age. Details of a bloody crime scene were aired in a children's court on Tuesday as prosecutors sought an application to extract DNA from the girl. There was blood all the way from the kitchen floor into the bathroom and all over the bathroom floor, a homicide detective told the court. There was a substantial amount of blood on the floor in the kitchen and what appears to be drag marks in blood from the kitchen that leads into the bathroom. Jeez. She said when police arrived at the apartment, they found two neighbors and the girl in the hallway. The neighbors called 000 after being awoken about 1:30 a.m. by noise and finding a young girl crying in the hallway. The girl told one of them the woman had killed herself, and I tried to drag her into the shower. The neighbors entered the apartment and found the woman's lifeless body naked and covered in stab wounds and on the bathroom floor. She said a knife was found in the victim's hand, with a pair of bloodied white sneakers next to the body. The detective said crime scene examiners found fake fingernails, painted light pink with butterflies, bundled up with the woman's body after they removed her from the crime scene. The child was seen on CCTV trying to steal alcohol from a nearby bottle shop in the hours before the alleged murder, wearing the same false nails and in different clothing to what she was found in by police. She was also found to be carrying a bag holding 4 packets of fake nails and 2 mobile phones, including one belonging to the victim, which had selfies of the girl on it. The nails, white shoes, and knife, along with condoms, deodorant cans, and clothing, including underwear, were seized by police. Prosecutors are waiting for a forensic pathology report to come back on all the items, but they want a magistrate to allow them to take DNA from the girl to match against the fingernails and the shoes. There is no indication the deceased was wearing such fingernails, a prosecutor told the court. Jeez, this is going to be a weird trial when it actually gets underway. 12-year-old could be convicted of murder. It'll be very interesting when that finally gets uh, underway. Guys, hold on a second. Sorry, guys and girls, I'm locking Muffin out. Hey, Nana Lana, how are you? Oh, hey, Laura. Listening to an audiobook on Lost time, not crime. Laura says, is it mafia ties or rival ties? I think they just said mafia, Melbourne mafia. Ah, that's scary. Beetlejuice says, my roommate drinks from the toilet like a dog. I have no idea who your roommate is. That's scary, though. Yeah, he wanted to eat all the biscuits in his bowl, and I was like, "Buddy, we're doing something. You have to go in the other room." All right, let's talk about let's talk about Sebastian again. So, while we're on our break, I actually got to go back and listen to Nick Beres's live stream he did on his Facebook, and he was discussing, the biological father and things like that. The one thing he did say was When Sebastian was a child, he stepped in what he thought was mud, but it wasn't mud. It was a fire ant nest. And then he basically got bitten all over his body by fire ants. And from that point on, he never went outside without shoes and socks. And it's sort of been a thing. He sort of was traumatized by it. And his dad reckons there's just no way he would go for a long period of time to, out in the open without shoes. It's just something he would not do. And he felt like a lot of the things in the investigation are not adding up at this time. And he's, like any father of a missing child, very concerned, doesn't understand where his kid is, and would like to see more information released to him. I think so far the police are trying to keep everyone not in the dark, but, you know, as much information they can keep to themselves as possible. I'm just trying to find, WKRN. It says, we are doing everything we can. Community posting flyers to help find Sebastian Rogers. It says 2 weeks into the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, Sumner County residents are keeping him at the front of their minds through his photos and description. Sumner County residents drive through Shackle Island, Hendersonville, or Gallatin. They see Sebastian Rogers' missing person posters placed in the glass as they enter businesses. Sebastian's face greets them at the door and counter. They said, we took it upon ourselves to take a photo of it, display it on my Facebook page, said Don Schmidt, the Sumner County Commissioner who oversees the 18th District. We've encouraged people to just spread it through social media, and we've seen it in local businesses in here at District 18, as well as outside of the district, as well as Gallatin and Hendersonville. Especially when they come up to the register, they notice, okay, here's the poster about Sebastian. Some lady wasn't even aware that this was happening. According to Schmidt, the posters were distributed to encourage community members to continue searching their properties for possible hiding spots that Sebastian could be in, like a barn or pool, and camera footage every morning and night. They just said, keep it fresh in everyone's minds. We don't want Sebastian to take a back seat. We don't want him to fall out of our memories or minds. Stay vigilant, continue looking in the hiding spots, even as redundant as it sounds. So they're still asking people to look in these different hiding spots twice a day, but still nothing, still nothing. It's a real shame. I don't know what's going to happen next. I really don't. But let's listen to this little update video.
Has been missing for more than 2 weeks, and right now officials have no leads in the case. Thank you for joining us for News 2 at 4. I'm Mark Kelly. So while the Sumner County community continues to wait for answers, they're doing what they can to help. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry spoke with some of the residents who are keeping Sebastian front of mind through flyers.
Driving through Sumner County, cars pass by cardboard signs, and people walk by printed signs of Sebastian Rogers as the search continues for now the second week. After almost a full week of exhaustive search efforts in air, water, and land by mounted patrols, K9 units, and ATVs, authorities moved the search to an investigation. At last update, investigators searched a Kentucky landfill, but it did not give them any additional clues as to what happened to Sebastian. Now, Sumner County residents are just doing what they can by printing and posting flyers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
We took it upon ourselves to take a picture of it, display it on my Facebook page. We've encouraged people to just spread it, through social media. We've seen it at local businesses here in District 18, as well as outside of this district in Gallatin and Hendersonville.
County Commissioner Don Schmidt from District 18 says the goal of the flyers being posted throughout the county is to remind people to continue searching their property every morning and night.
We want to keep it fresh in everyone's minds. We don't want Sebastian to take a back seat. We don't want him just to, fall out of our memory or minds, to, just get everyone to stay vigilant, continue looking in the hiding spots, even as redundant as it sounds.
And as people drive by a now quiet search headquarters, the conversations and thoughts surrounding Sebastian Rogers remain relevant throughout the community, especially in places like local businesses.
Some lady wasn't even aware that this was happening, and I can't imagine having a son missing or having a brother missing or anything like that. And so it's so important that we are raising awareness, because it is a missing person and we just want them to come home safe. So I really think it's amazing that we're doing everything we can to put flyers up everywhere.
In Sumner County, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
All right. Yep, vanished. No sight of him. I don't know. Let's see what tomorrow brings for Sebastian. I mean, we have 2 missing children right now. Elijah and Sebastian. Look, still 2. These names have been up here for weeks now. Sebastian and Elijah. They're the 2 that have been constantly there. Neither of them found. Would be good to see both of them found. Elijah Vu out of Manitowoc County and Sebastian Rogers out of Sumner County or Hendersonville, Tennessee. And it would be nice to be getting some more news on both of them. I think we're right at that weird point where information is sort of just slowed down. Although in Elijah's case, his reward is now up to $40,000, and police have now received large amounts of video as tips come in. That's really good. That is very good, and I'll show you. It says a combined reward for tips in the disappearance of missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu has risen up to $40,000. In a statement Monday, the Two Rivers Police Department said the total reward, which was previously set at $25,000, had increased thanks to additional funds raised by donations set up through the city of Two Rivers. $15,000 is being offered by the FBI and $10,000 from the Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers. I guess plus more through donations. Authorities say anyone who provides information leading to the discovery of Vu or the arrest or charging of the individuals responsible for his disappearance is eligible for the reward. According to the TRPD, law enforcement has been following up on numerous tips and leads, including reviewing and following up on large amounts of video that has been submitted. So they were looking for this car, and that's one of the calls for video or photos or dash cam of this car. They want to find out what it was doing, where it was going, who was inside of it. They said police are in possession of the vehicle in question, a 1997 four-door beige Nissan Altima with Wisconsin license plates beginning with A and ending with 0. TRPD has not said why the vehicle is part of the investigation, only that their interest is not with the current owner. If you locate any footage of the vehicle, you can upload it to the website. If you're experiencing technical difficulties or do not have access to upload their video, call the tip line at 1-844-267-6648. And they said searches by law enforcement continued throughout the weekend with help from Two Rivers Fire Department on local waterways and other rural areas. Volunteers also gathered to search as well. Tuesday will mark 3 weeks since Vu became the subject of an Amber Alert after he was reported missing from Two Rivers. His mother Katrina and her boyfriend Jesse have both been jailed on charges of child neglect. Yeah, he was there for disciplinary reasons and to become a man and to respect Jesse Vang, not to fear him, but to respect him like a real man. I don't even think Jesse Vang is a real man. I don't even know he's aware of what that actually entails or really means, because I don't see him as a real man. I see him as words I can't say on here. It says Vu is described as having dark blonde hair and brown eyes. He's about 3 feet tall and weighs about 45 pounds and has a birthmark on his left knee. says here on their update on March 11th, Elijah has not been found. We continue our search efforts through the weekend. Today, follow up on leads continued. Searches were conducted by law enforcement with help from Two Rivers Fire Department, and they're saying they searched the local waterways and other rural areas. Ah, sad. I don't know. Hopefully we can bring him home. Both of them, Elijah or Sebastian, no trace of either of them. That's very, very odd. Very odd. All right. I wanted to talk about this case. It's been so long. We had that very disturbing ending to that case of the salon owner. How horrible that she was found tortured and murdered in Mexico. But then we have Anna. She was in Spain, and her ex-husband has fled to Serbia after she went missing in Spain. It says Anna was ready to move on from estranged husband David and had been using Bumble before she went missing in Madrid. Best friend Sana told Daily Mail, I just know that police have been in contact with several people she was speaking with. Friends say the Fort Lauderdale realtor was going through a tough divorce from David, who has since fled to his native Serbia after being asked for help to find her. Something off there. There's a photo of Anna with a nice big piece of cake. And there's her and her friend. And apparently she'd been using Bumble. Apparently her and her ex-husband had several attempts to reconcile, but Anna was ready to move on and was using Bumble, according to her best friend Sana, who traveled to Spain earlier this month to help look for her. She doesn't know whether the petite brunette was looking for romantic dates or just using the app in BFF mode to make new friends. She says, I just know that police have been in contact with several people she was speaking with. I have met with one of them who tells me that they were not romantically involved, they were friends. I have been saying this the whole time that we need to get into her phone and look at the platform she was using. We need to look for any clues in there, but so far we have not got that far. Adding to the mystery, investigators checked surveillance cameras and found footage of a suspicious man in a motorcycle helmet skulking around Anna's building on Friday, February 2nd. He was first seen waiting outside for two people to leave, then slipping inside before the door could close at around 9:30 p.m. He then sprayed black spray paint on two cameras, one above the elevator and another on the entrance intercom to obscure his movements. Spanish cops are yet to track down the man or make any arrest in Anna's disappearance, according to her brother Felipe. And I don't have any other information either. Since about 3 weeks ago, it's gone really cold. There's been no more articles, nothing like that. Let me have a look. A lot of stuff in Spanish. A lot of people in Spain talking about it, but not in English-speaking countries. I'm not seeing anything new. Last update, March 7th, people were talking about it. And that's it. I can't see anything else. What does this say? Yeah, just that they're still looking for her. Really no new information. Campbell says, Vang is a real good role model. I've seen a bunch of mugshots of him from various times. Yeah, exactly. Guys, hold on. There's sirens going off everywhere. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if there's a fire. Because there's like We don't normally have this many sirens going off around here. Hold on, I'm just trying to have a look. No, it doesn't seem like there's anything. We have an emergency app that you can use. I'll show you. And it tells you like if there's anything around the local area. You can have a look like over here, but there's nothing. Like, so it'll tell you. So like, what does this say? A building fire in Sunshine West. So it'll tell you like, you know, it affects these streets and, you know, over here. But nothing anywhere else. I don't see anything near my place. Anything here? What does this say? Blue-green algae. High levels of blue-green algae have been detected in the river. Ugh. Don't think you want any of that. No blue-green algae. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I just didn't want there to be a fire and me speaking going, oh yeah, you know. Also, 2 arrested in Philadelphia bus stop shooting that left 8 high school students injured. Fantastic that they finally found a couple of people in this. 2 18-year-olds have been arrested for allegedly unleashing a hail of gunfire at high school students waiting at a bus stop Wednesday in northeast Philadelphia, leaving 8 injured. The injured students aged between 15 and 17 were at a bus stop just before 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday when 3 people exited a car around the corner, walked up to them, and fired at least 30 times before fleeing the scene. Man, they must have been a pretty terrible shot if they fired 30 times and barely hit these people. It says police identified suspects in the case by using evidence that included 2 stolen vehicles. Deputy Commissioner of Investigations Frank Venor said during a Monday news conference, one 18-year-old suspect, Jamal Tucker, turned himself in. According to Venor, another 18-year-old suspect, Anil Buggs, was arrested over the weekend. Let's see if I can get an update for this. 2 arrested in Philadelphia bus stop shooting. Hold on.
Tonight, 2 suspects are off the streets after last week's mass shooting at a SEPTA bus stop in Burr Home. 8 teenagers were injured in a barrage of bullets, and tonight police continue to search for even more suspects. It is Monday night. I'm Gray Hall. Shari Williams will join you for the news at 11. The big story tonight on Action News is the progress in the investigation into that shooting at a SEPTA bus stop that happened just last Wednesday. Today, police announcing the arrest of 2 suspects. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joining us live tonight outside police headquarters. And Sharifa, you have the details on how officers were able to track down these suspects.
Yeah, Gray, police say this was the work of nonstop investigating on this case. They were able to take both of these suspects into custody only within a matter of days. They hope that this shows major progress in the case, but tonight they continue to search for 2 more suspects. This is video from the moment 18-year-old Anil Buggs was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals Saturday. The day before, police say 18-year-old Jamal Tucker turned himself in. Philadelphia police, the mayor, and other leaders met today to announce their arrests. Both are now charged with the shooting that injured 8 Northeast high school students who were waiting for the bus last week. 7 boys and 1 girl, all between the ages of 15 and 17, were hit.
To our young people who were impacted, to know that we're making progress. We will not tolerate this type of violence on our streets or in our schools or near our schools.
Police say they developed suspects after recovering the stolen getaway car seen here in surveillance video. Buggs was also taken into custody with the gun that matched shell casings found at the scene. Police say the gun was a fully loaded and fully automatic pistol with a laser.
Young people who are trying to put it together, they deserve better, and they deserve to know that the city of Philadelphia is taking seriously what occurred.
At the news conference today, Mayor Sherrell Parker speaking on the bloodshed of the youth and the plans in the near future to implement a public safety plan for the city. Moving forward, it's an all-hands-on-deck approach as authorities continue to look for 2 more suspects. Tonight, they're encouraging them to turn themselves in.
If you are involved, then get smart. Turn yourself in. That is exactly what happened with one person who was involved, and it's the smart thing for you to do.
And police, they did not reveal anything about a motive in this case or the roles that either of the suspects played in this shooting, but they did say they are looking into if this shooting is connected to another shooting, a deadly shooting that happened at a SEPTA bus stop in the city's Ogontz section last week. They're looking for any and all witnesses to come forward and help. We're live from Philadelphia Police Headquarters tonight. Sharifa Jackson for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Gray?
Yeah, big developments in this investigation.
There you go. There's your update. 2 arrested. I'm happy about that. What do they call him? Anili Bugs. Anili. And who's the other guy? Tucker. Jamal Tucker and Anili Bugs. What a last name. They call him Bugs. Let's see. I mean, brutal. I don't know how you could just walk up to high school kids and let off 30 rounds. I mean, in public, in broad daylight in the afternoon. We watched this video last week. Here it is if you haven't seen it. This shows them getting out of the car. Here's that car that they found dumped later on. And then they get out, like, they're real quick. Look, get out of this car. They run across. There they go. And they're already opening fire. 30 rounds. And they're back in that stolen car and they're gone. 18 years old. It took less than 30 seconds for them to do that. Irreversibly, like, changing these kids' lives forever, probably. They'll have injuries for the rest of their life. And off they go. That's how quick it happened. In under a minute. In under 1 minute. It all took place. 30 rounds and a bunch of kids injured. Just trying to see. This was the original one. Teen killed in SEPTA bus stop shooting identified. This was the
The
original
big
one.
story on Action News tonight is the mourning and exasperation in the Philadelphia neighborhood in the wake of that deadly quintuple shooting yesterday. A 17-year-old boy killed right down the street from his school. Tonight, we know that boy's name. Damon Taylor was a student at Imhotep Institute Charter School in Ogontz. That school was closed today as the community mourns his killing. Police say Taylor was targeted by 2 gunmen yesterday as he waited at a SEPTA bus stop. 4 others, including 2 other teens and 2 women sitting on that bus, were also shot. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live outside that school now. Annie, where does this investigation stand tonight?
Well, Brian, police sources say that they're still trying to figure out a clear motive for the shooting and whether or not it stemmed from an argument among the teens earlier in the day. 17-year-old Damon Taylor is seen here during karaoke at his high school, Imhotep Charter, and here in the classroom. His school releasing a statement today saying, in part, "We will remember his joke, smile, and curiosity for learning." Taylor was killed by gunfire at a SEPTA bus stop at Ogontz and Godfrey yesterday afternoon. 2 other teens, ages 14 and 15, suffered graze wounds. The bullets also pierced a Route 6 SEPTA bus, injuring 2 women inside, ages 71 and 50. Witnesses say 2 people walked up and started shooting.
This is an absolute outrage. It will be solved. Those responsible will be vigorous.
New details involving one of the suspects charged in connection with the body parts that were found across Long Island.
That's right. A pair of siblings have come forward claiming one of the victims is their brother and one of the suspects is their cousin.
Oh, no audio. Sorry.
The latest on this surprising turn of events.
We're a family, or at least I thought we were a family.
Corinne Bullock and Charles Williams say their brother, 53-year-old Malcolm Craig Brown, was one of the victims whose body was found chopped up and scattered across Long Island. They were emotional after court and tell us they came in from out of state in search for justice, as one of the defendants, Stephen Brown, is their cousin. Bullock says they used to run together.
He was our baby brother. He was not perfect, but nobody deserves murder like this. And his cousin has something to do with it.
Bullock and Williams say they haven't spoken to either of them recently and don't know what their brother was doing with their cousin at his apartment in Amityville. Brown and three others, Amanda Wallace, Jeffrey Mackey, and Alexis Nieves, were charged with tampering with physical evidence, hindering prosecution, and concealing a human corpse. Investigators found blood, butcher knives, and meat cleavers during a raid of their apartment. They were released with GPS devices because a judge couldn't set bail. Under New York State's bail reform law, the crimes are considered nonviolent.
It's absurd that 4 people can murder 2 people and just get to walk out like that.
Inside the courtroom, Bullock shouted at Brown, "How could you?" And Williams yelled at him in the hall to do the right thing. His attorney left on Monday without commenting.
He knows what he needs to do. We've lost a brother and our parents and his mom, my aunt. They're home, they're suffering. They're hurting, and he has nothing to say.
Wallace, who is also in court, had nothing to say. Police did identify the 59-year-old female victim as Donna Keneally. Now, Brown's siblings didn't say how the two knew each other. All 4 defendants are due back in court next week. In Central Islip, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Sorry, I was trying to find that video because I wanted to try find a court hearing for today for these two.
Yeah, Nick, behind me, you can see the damage
Hey.
at those high.
Don't do that. Brutal. The fact that, you know, they've been in court, and I'm guessing you guys didn't hear the thing I read out, which is okay because they just said it on that video. But here you guys can see, I mean, how much of a... So you're such a big person that you both can go and murder 2 people, dismember their bodies, send them all around New York, but when someone shoves a camera in your face while you're going to court for what you allegedly have done, you're like, oh, let me get my hoodie out and hide behind it. When you had the balls to do big boy crime, at least show your face to the public. You know, attach yourself to your handiwork. Why are you hiding now? Why you need a hoodie? They should cut that thing from your head. You know, you had the balls to go drop someone's body parts in parks and places where children could find it, and yet you're so scared of a camera. Imagine how scared your victims were when you killed them and then chopped them up. You'll basically become something from a horror movie. Hate people like that. So scared of a camera after you just committed one of the most heinous murders people can remember since the Long Island serial killer. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Let me find this. There's another update from NBC New York. Where is it? Here.
New developments in the case of human remains found on Long Island. The family of one of the victims was in court today as 2 of the 4 people facing charges connected to the case faced a judge. News 4's Greg Sergel spoke to one of those families, and he's now live in Central Islip. Greg?
Well, David, some unexpected twists today and still a lot of unanswered questions in this case. As you said, Suffolk police identified one of the victims, a woman, today as that other family that says they're connected to the second victim came here to court to confront a man who just happens to be one of their relatives as well. As defendant Stephen Brown entered court today, this man and woman watched him and asked, "How could you?"
I just felt like he looked right through me.
Corinne Bullock and Charles Williams say it was their brother, Malcolm Brown, who was one of the 2 victims killed.
Sorry, I want to answer Reeby's question. Reeby says, "What the f? How are they out of custody?" They were charged with a crime that doesn't have bail or something, so the judge can't put them behind bars under a large bail. Something to do with the specific crime that they've been charged with at the moment. So unless they get charged with like murder 1 or something like that, they can't put a bail on them. So right now they're free to go. They're free to leave after court each day. It's ridiculous. It really is. Never heard of anything so crazy, but police have to charge them with something harder. They need to get through their investigation.
Killed and dismembered in this case.
He was our baby brother. He was not perfect, but nobody deserves murder.
Adding to the family's pain, they say, is the fact that defendant Stephen Brown, the man they faced in court today, is their cousin.
Our parents and his mom, my aunt, they're home, they're suffering, they're hurting, and he has nothing to say.
Stephen Brown and co-defendant Amanda Wallace ran from reporters after a brief court appearance today. Brown's lawyer couldn't confirm his connection to either of the victims.
There's nothing I can further add at this time. I mean, the case was adjourned for a week, and I'll have further discussions with the DA's office, hopefully get some evidence.
Neither prosecutors nor Suffolk police have identified Malcolm Brown as a victim, but today police did identify the woman killed as 59-year-old Donna Keneally. The 2 victims' body parts were dumped in 3 locations. 4 defendants are charged with mutilating and disposing of those bodies. All remain free without bail, and none has yet been charged with murder. What happened, Corrine Bullock says, remains a mystery, and, quote, we're still looking for answers.
We were all raised together. You know, we're a family, or at least I thought we were a family.
Now, police and prosecutors have said very little about the circumstances of this case, but sources have told News 4 a love triangle may be the motive behind this entire situation. Now, we've seen some social media posts that link Donna Keneally to Malcolm Brown, saying they're in a relationship, but so far we haven't been able to confirm the nature of that relationship. We're in Central Islip. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
Greg, thanks for that new information.
All right. Brutal. Don't know what else you could say about that, except for brutal. Someone asked, where is it? Are they related to the victim? I don't think anyone's quite sure. Like they said, at least one of the victims and one of the perpetrators are related somehow, but I'm not sure how. And the last name of that woman is Keneally, not Connolly. It's Keneally. Okay. Yeah. Here's a photo of her. I'll show you. There's a photo of the 2 victims, Malcolm and Donna. It'll be interesting to find out what went down here and why they're only being charged with mutilation of a corpse at this point. Why no murder charges, and why isn't that something they've tried for? Do they just not know who murdered them? Do they not know if they died under murder? Could it have been a natural death and then they just disposed of them? I don't know. But I really hate the fact that they run from the court and they have their, things over their head, and come on, be proud of your handiwork. This is your handiwork. It's all over the papers. Be proud. Show your face. Look, that's what you did. You did that. Show your face. Don't have a hood. Show your face. It's ridiculous. It says fellow suspects Jeffrey Mackey and Alexis Neves were seen walking out of Suffolk County Court freely on Friday with huge grins on their faces. Oh, look at this. These guys didn't hide their face, but look how happy they are that they murdered someone. Look how happy. It's the greatest day of their life. We're free. We chopped someone up, but we're free. Animals, really. I mean, just How do you do this to someone? And then desecrate their remains by dropping them all around New York. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that was someone else, but I don't know which person they're talking about. Have they found all the parts yet? Yeah, I think they have now. There was a third location they went to where they found a bunch more. It was some park that was in let me see. There was a third location they went to last week. If I can find the park's name, I'll tell you. Bethpage State Park was the third location that had the rest of the remains. Yeah. The first ones were in that Babylon area. That one had like the arms and legs that they found. Yep. And they left for a child to find on the way to school. Exactly. You know, no care for their victims. Don't care about anything else, but they care about hiding their face. I mean, you know, I don't know what goes through these people's minds. I really don't. All right. That was a good catch up. I want to find more about, hold on. I want to find some more information about that Renton salon owner. This was only half an hour ago. Let's see.
Lo único que nosotros queríamos era encontrarla.
The only thing we wanted was to find her. We found her. Not in the way we hoped, but we found her. And we thank God for that.
Y eso lo agradecemos.
Reina Hernandez, a longtime Renton business owner, was reported missing on February 28th, 2 days after she was last seen or heard from. Police suspected a crime, saying her car was also missing, added they'd issued a search warrant for a house in South Renton. Friday, less than 2 weeks after her disappearance, several news articles from Mexicali, a city in Mexico on the California border, described an unidentified woman murdered and left in a cemetery. The family identifying Reina by her unique tattoos.
Muy alegre, muy amorosa.
She was a very happy person, very loving. She loved all her clients and was very dedicated both at home and at work. It was her world. Hernandez was found dead, and a 61-year-old man from Renton was arrested nearby. Her family says that man, who's being held in Mexico on unrelated charges, was her longtime partner. To date, he has not been charged in her killing.
This obviously was not the outcome that anyone wanted to see. If you look at the social media accounts, that Reina had an incredible presence in our city, a small business owner, and lots of friends.
With no clear answers, Reina's 3 sisters, who all live in Mexico full-time, are remembering the life of a woman who loved her business and loved her clients.
Pues solamente queremos
We just want justice for her, just justice. We've had the full support of the Renton Police Department and the Mexican consulate, and obviously the love and support of everyone who knew her. Renton police are now coordinating with the FBI and Mexican law enforcement as they try and determine where and when Reina Hernandez was killed. That will help them determine which agency and which country takes the lead in this investigation. In Renton, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.
I see it as 1 arrested now. Missing woman found dead in Mexico, 1 arrested. Is it that same 61-year-old? Let's look. Mexican law enforcement officials have arrested a 61-year-old Renton man on unrelated charges and recovered Hernandez's vehicle, a white and maroon Ford Flex. Police said the death appears to be related to a domestic violence incident and that there was evidence she was taken against her will. They said this is the worst possible outcome and our hearts go out to Reina's family and friends. We are working closely with the Mexicali police and our U.S. federal partners to determine when and where Reyna was killed. Detectives will need to determine the time and manner of death before figuring out where Hernandez was killed. The 61-year-old man will be extradited if death happened in the U.S. The fact that he just dumped her body in a, in a graveyard, I mean, brutal, really, really brutal as well. Unfortunately, I heard a lot of terrible murders, crimes. I guess that's the case of true crime, unfortunately. This is from a local paper, the Renton Reporter. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on here. On March 8, Renton investigators contacted Mexican authorities after finding a Mexicali news article regarding an unidentified body found in a local cemetery on the Tijuana highway. Let's see if I can find that article. I'm trying to see if I can find that very old article from a couple of weeks ago. Found at a local cemetery. Maybe because I don't have it in Spanish. All right. Let's try Google Translate. I'm going to try translate this and see what happens. From English into Spanish. Okay. Let me run this and see if we pick up the article from Mexico. No. No, I can't find it, but maybe I'm not being specific enough. That's unfortunate. Mexicali. I can try one more time because I wouldn't mind seeing what tipped them off. Nope. 2nd of March. Let's see what that says. 2nd of... Okay. No, it's not letting me see. It's a shame. I'll do some more research when we're out of here tonight, and I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, that dang Spanish accent. It is, isn't it, Julie? I know. For her to be taken all the way from Renton down into Mexico. Phoenix Rising says, I'm so messed up with the time change. Doesn't usually bother me, but this one, I'm crazy and confused. How long have you peeps been here? I was busy and suddenly realized I didn't get notified. This is our second show. This is our second one. I know. My Spanish is terrible, so try not to speak in Spanish to me because I'll have no idea what you're saying. Unfortunately, Spanish is not taught in Australian high schools like it is in American high schools. In American high schools, Spanish is taught from a young age, but not so much here. Here we're taught French, Indonesian, German, Japanese, things like that. Yes, the Late Late Show. But we're almost getting ready to wrap up, actually. We've been on for over an hour, and we normally only go for about an hour. And I don't have too much more for today. I'm just checking in with one more story. Hold on. Let me see if there was anything else about the missing college student. I want to just check that because it would be like us to jump off for the night and they'd be like, hey, they found him. And I'd be like, oh my God, no one told me. It is really sad that they haven't been able to find Riley Strain though. What is this? Oh, that's interesting. Apparently they released the 911 call for Riley Strain.
9/2024, 13:46 and 24 seconds.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Hi, I don't have an address. I'm trying to file a missing persons report, and the Central Police is closed, and the sheriff's office said that we couldn't do it there.
Okay, so where exactly are you now?
We're in front of the Central Police, how do you say it? Precinct? How do you say that? Precinct. The Central Police Precinct on...
Okay, there's 601 Korean Veterans Boulevard in downtown Nashville, like right across from the Music City Center?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that where you're able to wait for a police officer to come and speak to you?
Yeah, we can wait for an officer here.
Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from?
Of my phone?
Yes, in case we needed to reach you back, what is the best number to reach you at? And what is your name, sir?
Braden, B-R-A-Y-D-E-N.
And your last name?
B-A-L-T-Z.
Okay. And who is it that you're wanting to report as missing?
We're here on a fraternity formal trip. It's one of my good buddies.
Okay. What is his name?
His name is Riley Strain. Riley, R-I-L-E-Y, Strain, S-T-R-A-I-N.
Okay. Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's white. 22-year-old, 6'5", blonde.
Okay. And what was he last seen wearing?
Outside of Luke Bryan's bar last night at like 10, and then the last time his location on his phone was by the sheriff's office at like 11 p.m.
Okay, and what color clothing was he last seen wearing?
He's wearing jeans, boots, and a half black shirt, half brown, light brown.
Okay, and you said it last showed outside the sheriff's department?
Like around that area by the river, by the sheriff's department over there.
Okay. Does he have any life-sustaining medications or disabilities?
No.
And what is, you said he has a phone, so it's a cell phone, right?
Yeah, it's an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
What is the number?
But it's hold on. Give me 1 second. I got you.
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
You said the last four were 4198?
Yes.
Okay. And are you going to be waiting there at the door of the precinct, or are you going to be waiting in your car?
I mean, yeah, we're at the front door of the precinct.
Okay. I've got the call sent there at the Central Precinct, 601 Korean Veterans Boulevard in downtown, right across from Music City Center. We'll get an officer out to you as soon as we can. Please call us back if something changes before they arrive. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Like I say, just call us back if something changes before they arrive.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll be.
There you go. There's the 911 call about Riley Strain. I mean, sounds awful. His friends just sound like what did he say at the beginning? They went to the police station, but it was closed. And then they went to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff said, "You can't do a missing persons report here." What exactly do these guys do? Is that some sort of jurisdiction type thing? Like they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not our we can't do it from this location." That's so weird. That's so strange that they had to call the dispatch to be able to get a police officer to come to them when they were standing outside of a sheriff or a police station, and they just wanted to do a missing person report. That is bizarre. I don't think it was late at night either. What time was it? Does it say? On the recorded line, Braden Bolts told the dispatcher he needed to make a missing persons report for his fraternity brother, last seen about 4 hours earlier. So 4 hours earlier. That would have been about, well, okay, he went missing at 10 p.m. That's like 2:30 in the morning, or maybe that's why. It was 2 a.m. in the morning. You would have thought, being Nashville on a weekend, they would have the station open like all night. DJ says usually a sheriff's officer would cover outside the city limits. Okay. Jojo says it's like Walmart, no cashiers. Police station, no cops. Apparently. So that would be the reason to go to the police, city police. Okay. I Hate Morning says it's not uncommon here. The police are usually out patrolling. Interesting. Normally in Australia, we have cops that only man the police station. They don't go anywhere. They don't go in the cars. They stay just at the police station. Like, that's their shift. They don't go out to do patrols. They don't go out to do beats anywhere. They just do their shift in the police station for people who come in, or to support the officers who are out on the road. But interesting that in America, all police may leave the precinct office and go like on the patrol if it's called for. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. They didn't sound very concerned at the time, more just they didn't know where their friend was. I'm sure a few hours later in the morning, by the time they woke up in the morning and their friend was still not back at the hotel, that feeling probably went through the roof. You know, a couple hours later, you don't know where your body is. That's one thing. That's a little bit different. Okay, so what does it say here? This is when the 911 call comes in. Bolts that makes the call from Central Police. So it was 1:46 a.m. So yeah, about 2 a.m. in the morning. The call lasted just under 5 minutes before Bolt hangs up. The operator tells him they're sending an officer to meet him at the precinct. 911's dispatcher says, they'll meet you there. And that's it. That's when they reported Riley missing. Man, I hope they can find him. I'm so worried about that water. I'm so worried that's where he is. And that's why the phone's not working. It's very concerning.
Oh, fill it up.
Let's see. Apparently, when the parents got into town Saturday evening, they met with an officer and they had been amazing to the family. He made phone calls, he radioed people to check locations while he was with us. He was also making phone calls and he sent the report out and it hit the national database. I felt like things were handled very well and he was very helpful. That was Chris, that was Riley's dad, stepfather, saying that the police had been very helpful to the family. Authorities said Strain's cell phone provider was not able to get a live ping due to the phone being off. NMPD said his service provider was able to give law enforcement his last location, which pinged near a cell tower located at 19 Oldham Street. Strain's family tracked his last cell phone location to Gay Street and James Robertson Parkway, which is very close to the cell tower and less than a mile from Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway. His dad said the family is now working with the NMPD detective to start piecing together a path to where Strain was last seen. He says, "We know the time frame between when he left the bar and when his last phone ping was. We know that we can take the search window down considerably for being able to find him on camera. So they are working to pull camera footage from around the courthouse and all the downtown area. Several officers drove around the area but were unable to find any sightings of the 22-year-old. Strain's mother, Michelle, said it's unlike him to be out of contact for this long. She says, he contacts me all the time. He's always texting me, calling me, FaceTiming me. He's always in touch with me. He's very communicative." Ah, man. I hope for some better news in the morning in regards to Riley. I really, really do. And I think maybe we'll get something tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day. No, a couple of hours. He went missing at 10 p.m. This was 1:46 a.m. in the morning. So just like 2-3 hours later. Laura G said some areas have substations that are open shorter hours, like in a retail entertainment areas. Oh yeah, like at a nightclub area or something. Flower Child said he was intoxicated and asked to leave the bar. Yeah, but I don't see that as being uncommon for a young person. Apparently, he was just trying to settle his tab, and I'm guessing he did that, and then he left because they wouldn't serve him anymore. Hey, this account, how are you? I think that's just about it for the night, guys and girls. Oh, I have one more story. Where is it? One more, and then we'll wind up for the night. Where is it? Where is KHOU? Here. So we spoke about this guy last night. Man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's 12-year-old son arrested at U.S.-Mexico border, sheriff says. It says Terry Brian Rivera, 27, is charged with capital murder in the shooting death of 12-year-old Carlos Fernandez. It says a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's 12-year-old son has been arrested a week after the deadly shooting. Terry Brian Rivera, 27, is charged with capital murder in the shooting death of 12-year-old Carlos Fernandez. His mother, Alva Cornejo, 51, was arrested and charged with hindering apprehension or prosecution Sunday, a felony. On Monday, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said Rivera was detained at a Brownsville port of entry at the U.S.-Mexico border. Rivera is currently in Cameron County. Gonzalez said more details will be provided as they become available. We'll post more on the arrest as we get it. So if this was the guy we spoke about last night, he has been arrested, thank God. Shooting a 12-year-old who was trying to protect his mum from this ogre. This guy burst into the house, burst into the room, and was trying to kill the woman, and the son, 12-year-old son, tried to protect mum, and he ended up killing and shooting him. Really, really awful. But I'm glad they found him before he could get into Mexico. He gets into Mexico, you may never see him again. There's a lot of things in there that can go wrong. But good news. Hey, this account, how are you? Yeah, it is really good news. Is this an update?
Is behind bars in South Texas tonight, awaiting extradition back to Houston. News of Terry Brian Rivera's arrest coming on the same day young Carlos was laid to rest. Harris County authorities say Rivera was taken into custody at the U.S.-Mexico border in Brownsville. Maria Aguilera is live in the Cloverleaf area where the shooting happened, with reaction from the boy's family and neighbors tonight. Maria.
Len, there is a growing memorial here for Carlos. As you can see, this is where the young boy lived and sadly lost his life. Now family and the community tell me they are thankful his alleged killer is behind bars. Stuffed animals, toys, and candles sit outside the room where little Carlos Fernandez was shot and killed. Tonight, we learned the suspect in his death has been caught. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, Terry Brian Rivera was arrested in the South Texas city of Brownsville. The 12-year-old's family shared a message with me tonight, saying they're very happy with the hard work and dedication that was put into capturing him, thanking everyone involved in the community for their support.
It's so sad what he did. I just, it's so emotional. Like, the family just deserved resolution.
The community heartbroken by Carlos's death, glad the man accused is no longer out on the streets.
He deserves what he gets.
Before this news, earlier today, family gathered to say their final goodbyes at Carlos's funeral.
I don't want everybody to remember Carlos for the senseless tragedy. Remember him for the young man that he was, the protector, the big brother, the big cousin.
Rivera's arrest was something family wanted. In fact, telling him to turn himself in.
Be a man. You know, don't be a coward and run. You know what you did. You're man enough to carry a gun, and well, be man enough to face the consequences of your senseless actions.
Rivera's mother, Alba Cornejo, was arrested Sunday accused of aiding her son.
Ma'am, you are here on the third-degree felony of hindering apprehension.
She appeared in probable cause court this morning. Cornejo remains in jail on a $25,000 bond. Meanwhile, Carlos's family tell me they're exhausted by all the emotions they've gone through today, laying this child to rest. We're told Rivera is expected to be brought back to Houston, where he'll have to appear in court. Of course, we will continue to follow this case and bring you the latest. Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
How very sad that they put him to rest today. Carlos Fernandez, they put him to rest in the service today. I think but good news, on the day that they put him to rest, they found the guy responsible for killing him and were able to arrest him and hopefully bring him back to the city and put him through the justice system. Hopefully he never sees the light of day again for killing a child that all he wanted to do was protect his mom. I mean, what else can you say? I'm just trying to see something. So apparently, in the shooting death of Carlos Fernandez, his mom Alvera. So, deputies arrest mother of man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's 12-year-old son, sheriffs say. The mother of a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's 12-year-old son has been arrested. So, she was obviously trying to help him escape and hindered his apprehension, and they went after his mum. That's pretty crazy. Well done to the police for not just letting it go. We've seen that time and time again where someone has helped a fugitive and they're just like, oh, they were just an innocent party. But not this time. They held her to her crimes as well. I mean, when you're talking about something so serious, he murdered a 12-year-old kid, and you wanted to help him escape to Mexico. Hey, Julie, good night. Good night, my friend. We're wrapping up now anyway. I was just finishing that paragraph, but we're going to wrap up. It is very late. Julie, I wanted to say thank you for your support of the channel. I do really appreciate it. And I'm just happy to see you in the channel. I really am. I love when you drop by. You don't have to donate anything or like the chat or whatever. Just happy to see your name in the chat and see that you're still watching true crime and leaving comments. It brightens my day. It really does. And I hope you have a great day tomorrow, okay? Have a great day, Julie. Retired Aaron, hey, how are you? Yeah, don't wear myself out. That's okay. We're going to wrap up for the night now. I hope you guys have had, guys, girls, and octopus have had a great live show today. We've done 2. Flower Child says, Laken Riley, another woman out jogging, was murdered. This is really irritating that we can't enjoy the outdoors without worrying about being harmed. I think it's horrible that women can't, live their lives without being predated upon by, men who can't control themselves. It's really awful, and it's a scourge on our society. It really is. We'll deal with that more tomorrow, I'm sure. All right, everyone. I love you all. I gotta do the updates for the end video. So tomorrow we'll have all the new names on it and stuff like that. I will do that overnight tonight. But thank you for being here, and thank you to the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Nights with Ping and get a notification when we go live. I'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all the comments and likes. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the evening tomorrow. Yes, it is Sunday. sundaywithping@gmail.com. You can send updates if you'd like. Bye bye, everyone. See you later. Bye.